News regarding Venezuela and Maduro came just days after Zohran Mamdani was officially sworn in as New York City's 112th mayor. He immediately, after being inaugurated, signed a host of executive orders. He also vowed that he is going to be ushering in a new era for the city. So, what do you make of his first few days in office? What are your thoughts here?
Well, I think that he's made a number of missteps with his appointments. I think that a lot of his appointments were not vetted properly, and that's a problem. And I think that a lot of them have misspoken on social media and such. One of the first things he did was revoke 9 executive orders, one of which is two of which were very important to the Jewish people, and it included, removing the IRA, which is the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance, and that identifies uh, um, it identifies anti-Semitism, which is very important to the Jewish community, and also identifies a boycott of BDS, which stands for Boycott, Divestment, and Sanctions. We all know that. We've been listening to it for quite some time. And those are some things that the mayor will not commit to. He will not commit to identifying anti-Semitism as a thing. He will not commit to boycotting BDS, and he will not commit to fighting back on globalize the Intifada. And those are 3 things that are making our Jewish community very concerned, and I don't blame them.
During the campaign, though, he did say when it came to globalize the Intifada that was essentially, I believe, I don't have the quote in front of me, but a bridge too far. But he said that he revoked all of Adams's executive orders that were signed after the former mayor was indicted back in September of 2024. He said that that's when New Yorkers, a lot of them, lost trust in the city. He was starting a clean slate. And he said that protecting Jewish New Yorkers is going to be a focus of my administration. There were a lot that were critical of those 2 executive orders that he revoked. As you said, they said some people have said that is blatant anti-Semitism, but Mamdani, I believe, doesn't see it that way because he said that that's going to be a focus of his administration. He's keeping the mayor's office to combat anti-Semitism. Do you think that's enough?
It isn't enough. It wasn't enough when Mayor Adams put it into place. It is an office of one person. We've had multiple anti-Semitic graffiti incidences in my district, and different actions that took place throughout the city with protesting outside of synagogues while religious ceremonies were happening, and that office was ineffective. It was non-existent, and I believe it will become even less existent during this mayoralty.
And just earlier in your previous comment, you did say that you aren't too happy with some of his appointments. You think that they're missteps. Who exactly are you talking about?
Well, his chief counsel, he is someone who was a representative for terrorists that attacked our city, for Al Qaeda. And then there is the endorsement of various assembly candidates, one of which would like to cancel Veterans Day, Thanksgiving Day, 4th of July. These are not people who should be making policy for America, because they'd like to cancel America, cancel American values, cancel American holidays, and it just isn't fair. And I think that the mayor showing that these are the people that he trusts, that is a problem. Just recently, he appointed Sia Weaver as the new director of the city to the Office to Protect Tenants. And she said in a video online back in 2019 that homeownership is a weapon of white supremacy. Now, for that alone, she should be dismissed, because we, as white Americans and white residents of this city, have rights too. It's not just people of color who have rights. White people have rights too, and we have rights to home ownership. And that is a very racist statement, and she should be held accountable and dismissed for that.
I know that a lot of the world, at least a lot of New York, was surprised when President Trump back in November had a meeting with Mamdani, and he said that Mamdani might surprise some conservatives. Some of his ideas are the same as my ideas. He called him a very rational person. So, A, do you agree with President Trump's characterization there? And B, is there any area that you could see yourself working with the mayor on?
I watched Mayor Mamdani with President Trump in that news briefing that they gave, and I was hopeful, and I think the president was hopeful. I think it's important to American citizens, it's important to New York City citizens that the president, the governor, and the mayor and the city council can work together to make sure that the city is successful. In the end, all anybody wants is the city to be successful, and I had a brief conversation with the mayor, and I made that very important to me. That is what I am focused on, is making sure that my constituents receive the services they need for law enforcement, for quality of life, to make sure that my Jewish community feels safe. And the mayor can be very convincing and he can be very charming, but what he's saying does not match what he's doing. And the people that he's surrounding himself brings me to the saying, tell me who your friends are and I'll tell you who you are.